Hey, now wing those hands. I came to pump. Come on. Come on. What you say? Don't be shy. Just feel it and feel free. I know you came to have a good time. We about to get started. We about to get loose. We about to do what we came to do. All right, all right, all right, all right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is William Bryant Miles. Today is the 16th day of December. I'm William Bryant Miles, which means you're watching. You can call me WBM. Let's start that all again. Hello, hello, hello. Today is the 16th day of December. It's a Wednesday. It's 10 p.m. Eastern time. If you're watching this live, it means you're watching the wonderful world of what? WBM, because I am who? William Bryant Miles, but you can call me WBM. So let's just jump right into it. I don't have a show for you guys today, but I'm Ching. Thanks for tuning in. Choose joy. That's that on that. No, so if you don't know, Christmas is loading. As I said, today is the 16th. It means the next time we speak will be the 23rd. It's also one of my bestest friends' birthday on the 23rd, Christian Gibbs. And that's 2 days before Christmas. But Christmas is loading. My mama put out the Christmas lights today because she's late and they're going to stay up until July. I don't know, until I take them down. But I'm trying to be better about taking them down. Question for y'all. Like, I don't live with my mother in that I have my own apartment, but my mother is my landlord. She lives downstairs. And so people that live in close proximity to their parents, how often are you voluntold to do something? And voluntold, I learned as a phrase, which I love. It just means, oh, look, Christian Gibbs is here. So yeah, if he's here next Wednesday, we have to sing for him. But voluntold is like, I'm sure you can figure out what it means, but what I love about it as a phrase is that like it literally means that someone is making you feel like you're volunteering to do something because you're not getting paid for it. There's no reason for you to do it other than like being a good person, but you didn't. I got a new beauty blender. Let's see how well it works. I don't know if you can call this a beauty blender, but I think they call it like a makeup sponge or something, but it is not of your own choosing. You know what I mean? Like, it was like my mother tells me so many things like, oh, we're going to do some community service. We got to bring, we're going to bring, actually, I don't have nothing to wipe this off, but you'll see why I don't want to do the lower half of my face. She'd be like, we're going to bring food to the homeless, or to the people, who are indigent or who don't have, and it's like, oh, girl, are you like, this is not a volunteer opportunity for me because I do not, while I'm not getting paid, I don't have, this is the definition of it. While I may not be pulling any resource or even personal benefit, I also don't have the ability to say no. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be like, that doesn't work for me. 7 a.m. on a Saturday, not my interest. You know what I mean? She'll be like, telling you that we're going to show up and do this service. And so I'm just curious if like you guys have experienced that as well. We're going to get into Santa drag because I don't know if you guys saw on my social media, but Santa Claus is coming to town. So come this Saturday at like, I don't know, I haven't decided on the time, maybe like 9 p.m. I'll get on my social media my YouTube, and I'm gonna, excuse me, no, this is YouTube, on my Instagram, and I'm just gonna give like Santa Claus teas. I'm really excited to have a costume I've been working on. It started off as just your little basic bitch costume from Party City, but we took it to new heights. And we're gonna be making a list, checking it twice, finding out who is naughty and motherfucking nice. But we're also going to be blessing the babies and blessing the children. And so I just wanted to try that out today. As I mentioned, I'd love to hear from you guys. Well, I mentioned that I don't have a show, which is not true. I always have a show. We're very professional and prepared. But I just want to hear from you guys, like what you maybe want to talk about, what's happening in the world. But so this is me literally piloting what my Santa is going to look like. I'm not going to give you the full costume, and we have a whole Winter Wonderland moment that's going to be exciting and amazing. But yeah, so what have you guys been up to? I haven't watched as much TV as I would like because I just haven't had time. But what I did get to do is I went to Storm King. If you're not familiar with Storm King, I don't even know what they technically call it. I could look it up, but who wants to do that? But Storm King is basically like an outdoor sculpture park, an outdoor art environment, kind of like the Heidelberg Project in Detroit. Where all of the art lives outside. But whereas the Heidelberg Project, if you're not familiar, is a series of homes that were decorated and reclaimed in interesting ways. These are like purpose-built sculptures who, don't ask me what I'm doing, what kind of Santa this is. These are purpose-built sculptures that are like tremendous in size and scope. And so they just need to live, you know, someplace where we can see that in full flight. I guess Santa's has vitiligo. And so it was beautiful, you know what I mean? And it was so nice to be able to be outside. I said, don't ask no questions about what's happening, girl. It was nice to be outside because we don't get to do that often. And like, I realized for you, if you're new to this, I travel. I mean, my travel is not always exotic, but he travels quite a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I set a goal in 2019 to like leave New York City once a month, and I exceeded that goal. You know, like I left New York City more than 12 times, more than 12 times and more than once a month. So the fact that I hadn't left New York City since March was kind of challenging for me. And if you think about it, like I had left New York City, I think more than once, but I definitely went to Denver. Maybe it was only the once, but I had left New York City before January. I mean, before the panty. So that was very challenging to me that I hadn't yet left New York, or not yet, but I hadn't left New York a whole lot. So it was very exciting to me to be able to be outside the city. And my dumbass, I was with my homegirl, Marinda. Shout out to Rindy for having that great idea to take us to Storm King. That was all her doing. I was just the facilitator and the navigator because I ain't trying to judge nobody, but some of us are able to follow GPS perhaps better than others. And that, you know, we all have our gifts. So that's not a judgment. And it takes a village. But I was so excited about leaving the city that I thought we were living in the olden days. And so I was all like, oh my God, I didn't share this with her, but I just in my mind had made up like, we're going to go to the art environment and then we'll leave, you know, we're going to have a great moment. We're going to have like a mind altered state, and we'll then be able to go and have like vibes at like a cafe or a restaurant or someplace, not a chain restaurant. And I'm all in the vintage store where I got some amazing records, which I may share with you all. But we, you know, we had, I'm thinking, I'm all asking for recommendations. Like, where's a great place to go for lunch? You know, we want to have a nice lunch. We want to just have vibes and have lunch. And lady kind of looked at me a little crazy, and I get now why. Because we're in a fucking pandemic, and who the fuck is sitting inside in a restaurant? Oh wait, all the motherfuckers in Newburgh, New York. We get to the restaurant and it's packed. And when I walk in with my mask on, of course, which the people at National Drugstore chain that didn't pay for promotion, so I won't share, they shared that or the lady at the register was like, "Thank you so much for wearing a mask. We really appreciate that." Which means that motherfuckers don't be wearing masks in this part of the state. We saw a pro-Trump banner. It's just really bad. I'm actually like, the lighting in here is kind of crazy. So I'm using y'all in my mirror. Like I'm literally doing my makeup using the mirror, using you all as a mirror. I mean, I have one here, but it's not doing what I need to do. And this is just so I know what I need to do come Sunday. Lord, dear Lord above. But anyway, long story short, we get to the restaurant and I'm like, I'm not eating in here, like no tea, no shade. But what I'm not doing is sitting in this restaurant. And it was partly because just like, my thing about it is, right, like all of this stuff with the panty, if you don't have the vaccine, is about calculated risk. And I think that everybody has different risk tolerances, risk aversion, you know what I mean? Like, and what we're willing to risk it for. So like one thing I did, which in hindsight was very risky, was like, this was maybe like March 10th or 11th. So right before everything shut down, we went to a Celine Dion concert. And we knew that there was some risk because we knew that this thing was going around. And obviously everything hadn't been shut down. We were in a different space than we are now, but we knew there was some risk. But my thing was that, like, in that moment and in hindsight, I was like, you know what? Celine Dion, like, if I get this coming from a Celine Dion concert, I'm comfortable with telling that story, right? Like, I'm comfortable with being like, girl, maybe it wasn't the best choice, but my heart will go on. You know what I'm saying? Am I comfortable with telling that story that, like, I had a fucking taco in Newburgh, New York? No, I'm not. You know what I mean? It's like that for me was a step too far. That was like more, and he'll never put more on me than I can bear. I've been broken. You know what I mean? Like that was more than I could bear. That was just a step too far. It was just way too much. So that's what, for me, it was like, girl, let's sit in the car, had the taco. I will say that cocktail was really good and really strong. And what we also had, which they did not have indoor dining at the moment, but we had these donuts. I can't remember the name of the place. So if you do, please share. But those donuts were really good. It was like glazed your way or some shit like that. One thing I will say, if you go to this donut spot, if somebody shares the name of it, the problem I did have, it won't be a problem, but my top tip would be that simply just get the classic standard issue donut, because you can put like their cake donuts, glazed over donuts in Beacon, New York. The donut is very delicious, and that cake donut was so good. And I feel like in New York City, most of the places that do donuts, like Donut Plant and Dough, those are the two that come to mind. They do yeast donuts, which I enjoy. You know what I mean? This place had a cake donut, and it was really good. But you can put all this stuff on it. And if you've been to like Voodoo Donuts in Portland, Oregon, they kind of reminded me of it because they have all this stuff, Fruity Pebbles and just so many different kinds of sugar you can put on there. But I didn't think it needed any of that. And I wish somebody would have told me that at the outset, that like, it doesn't need that. What if Santa wore lashes? Let's see. I don't know how to put on lashes. Like that's something I am transparent about, but we're going to try it today because I bought this contraption. It's called if Bounty is the quicker picker-upper, this is the lasher picker-upper. And so you're supposed to be able to like, so we'll see if it works. And then we're going to do this. It's going to be a short show, I guess. Oh, before I do the lashes, I'm just wasting glue. I wanted to share some of the records that I got and why they matter to me. Fuck. So I don't have a record player, but I'm going to have one. I'm going to order one by the year, before the year is out. I'm committing to that. So I got this one. This one is Bette Midler, and the album is called Songs for the New Depression. and it was recorded in 1976 on Atlantic Records. This album is dedicated to Gillian Malkin. I got this album because I enjoy Bette Midler. She's one, like, you know, but especially during the someone said, have you listened to Lil Nas X's Holiday album? Not at this time. But maybe I'll listen to it after I'm done because I have to get my whole Winter Wonderland together for you to join me on Saturday. But Bette Midler, I've really connected to her during the pandemic. The Divine Miss M, her first album, is amazing. Do you want to dance under the moonlight? That's a great record. So I just thought, you know, why not? And these are supposedly all supposed to play. This is the historic Paul Robeson. I'm sure this is going to be tremendously boring, but and this picture is just a little, it makes me a little uncomfortable, but I just, you know, want to hear that. I don't even know, like, is this spoken word or songs? I don't know. Let's see. Robeson's recital opens with the famous Protestant chorale Ein feste Burg unser Gott by Johann Sebastian Bach to the words of Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King, which is an epitome of the magnificent so-called Reformation cantata. Robeson sings it in English and Norwegian. The second number is, first of all, I love that, like, the track listing is narrated. It's not actually like a track listing. I didn't look at this before I bought it either. The second number is Bach's Easter Chorale, Christlag in Todesbanden. This is sung in English and German. The third item is Sarastro's aria, O Isis and Osiris, from Act 2 of Mozart's Magic Flute. For those of you who don't follow opera, the Magic Flute has the Queen of the Night aria, which is clearly I'll be casting that. Y'all still talking about Lil Nas X's, he has a Christmas album. Maybe it's just the song Holiday. No, I think he released like a little holiday LP, like how Ariana Grande did Christmas and Chill, which is one of my favorite Christmas records, actually. The hymn, the Ode to Joy, joyful, joyful. The last movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Oh, I wish I had a record player to put this all on right now. And then this whole thing would be taken down for copyright issues. Is sung by Robeson in an arrangement for solo to proclaim the sentiment that alle Menschen werden Brüder, all men will be brothers. Amen. Amen for that. I'm about to get emotional. The lullaby, Schlafe, Schlafe, Holder, Süße Knabe, was composed by Franz Schubert in 1816 to the words of his favorite poet, Claudius, famous author of Death and the Maiden. I'm losing the plot on this record. Mussorgsky's Orphan, with words by the composer, is a scene from a big city. The orphan begs a nobleman in the street not to leave him to die of hunger. This is dark. Robeson sings here in Russian. So he's giving us English, Norwegian, German, Russian. You name it. Now Sleeps the Crimson Petal is an English folk song arranged by Quilter. The Negro spiritual We Are Climbing Jacob's Ladder brings this side of the record to a close. We are climbing Jacob's ladder. Songs of Freedom was composed by Smetana at the age of 24 in the 1814 year of revolution, during days of turmoil when the Austrian nations, especially the Czechs, rose up unsuccessfully against absolutism. Side note, it's very disappointing to me that world, I put air quotes because it doesn't always include the whole world, history is so clear and specific about all the different people of Europe, right? And the different families and how whomever moved from this, there, and everywhere, and all these different dynasties, and how all of these different legacies and lineages married and intertwined. But then the rest of the fucking world is like, you know, the Native Americans, which is the fucking country in which I live, right? Like, I live on their land. I'm so much less knowledgeable about that because, and that's not by accident, that's by design. And so I just encourage all of you, I think I may have said this on here before, but if not, I'm going to say it again. I encourage all of you this holiday season to reach out to your loved ones, especially the elders or anyone who may be, and it's not only the elders, because I know all too well that our peers don't always make it. Reach out to anyone who, and we don't always know when someone's going to go, but everyone, but especially the elders. And just like for 15 minutes, just get them on camera or on a voice note, just talking about their existence, talking about what they remember about their childhood, about what they remember about growing up, about the most exciting thing in their life, about their biggest accomplishment, even if it didn't fucking cure cancer, or if they were not the first Black president of the United States. Like, their story matters, because what happens so often is that the white men historically, but not only, want to create a record that only centers their experiences or experiences that they think are worthwhile and meaningful, right? And it's like, if you do not document your story, they will say you never existed. And it's as simple as that. Like, there's an African proverb, I'm paraphrasing. Africa's a big place, and I can't tell you from where in Africa this came, but there's a proverb that says something along the lines of, until the lion is able to tell his own tale, until the lion is able to tell his story, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And I'm going to push that further and be like, if the lion can't tell his tale, the hunter will say that you never fucking existed, that you were never even a fucking lion. They'll call you a fucking panda. You know what I mean? Like, we just have to document our stories, and that is beautiful. And I love that through food, and that's the beauty of the holidays, that we can all eat the yeast rolls that our grandmothers made, or our great grandmothers that we never made, but now our grandmothers make, and our mothers will make and will make, our grandfathers or however. Question: if you're gender nonconforming and you're a grandparent, are you just a grandparent? But that's another conversation. But genuine question, not a judgy question. But it's like, until we, we have to, that's beautiful that it lives in the yeast rolls, but we also need to know their stories, because they were individuals who contributed so much and who had very specific and singular and meaningful lives. Like, because every last one of us as human beings has a singular and specific existence. And unless we document it, it just will go by the fucking wayside. And we are so blessed to live in the moment. I don't know if anyone will ever be able to understand these voice notes. I don't know if, iTunes is as enduring as an alabaster tablet. Only time will tell. I'll be long gone, but we have an opportunity to use what we have to document it. So I just encourage you all to do that, to take some time, especially if you're already talking to your family on FaceTime. Just fucking record this shit and just have this as a moment. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be the darkest or even the most profound thing, but just like, what are some stories from your childhood? What did the house you grew up in look like? What was your favorite meal when you were 6 years old? Like, these are things that are really important. Back to this. The words come from the Czech poet Joseph Jiří Koller. Robeson learned this song both in the English translation and in the original Czech version. So this motherfucker is singing English, German, Russian, Norwegian, and Czech. Songs My Mother Taught Me, I'm a Prophet, is the most popular of Dvorak's gypsy songs. I don't mean to offend anybody by saying that that's what it says here, which he composed to words by the Czech poet Adolf, no one's naming their child that anymore, Hajduk. Dvorak is Robeson's favorite composer. Now, this is the other thing, right? And I don't fault Robeson, but I wonder if he had been given the fullness of the world, and specifically the people from whence he came, because he's way closer to, African lineage than I was, into the enslaved. Maybe it would look different. I don't know. So we have next two more of his compositions, his being Dvorak's. By the Waters of Babylon is number 7 in the biblical songs. It is taken from Psalm 137, verses 1-5. Bonus points if you know what that is. Going Home is simply the main melody of the second movement of Dvorak's Ninth Symphony in E minor, Opus 95, from the New World, with words added much later by another hand. The Largo is particularly tempting to sing because of the programmatic character of the music, expressing as it does a yearning for home. What is home? When I think of home, I think of a place. Erskine Love Lilt is a folk song from the Hebrides. I don't know what any of these words mean. They may be English and I just can't pronounce them. Deep River. doesn't go like that, but is this Negro spiritual that made Robeson most famous. Water Boy tells of a boy who carried water to this. Let's start this one again. Water Boy tells the story of a boy who carried water to the slaves working in the plantation. One draught draft could stave off utter exhaustion for a few more hours. The recital ends with the nostalgic spiritual. I feel like I'm gonna get emotional listening to this record. So I gotta get a record player to hear this. The recital ends with the nostalgic spiritual. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, which expresses the Negro's faith that at the last judgment, the good will be separated from the wicked, the righteous from the unrighteous. Is that what that song is about? I don't know that that's what that song means for me. And I'm a Negro. But, oh, girl, all the records done fell. Child cheese. This is when you need some interns to put this back in the plastic. There we go. What were the other records I got? Oh my God. Y'all gonna see my wig exposed. Jamaica, Lena Horne, Ricardo Montalban in a musical comedy, Jamaica. This is really exciting to me. Music by Harold Arlen. Lena Horne, also a big moment for me. She has a recording of her. Hold on, please hold. She has a recording of her one-woman show on, what was it? A one-woman show. It was a musical about her life called The Lady and Her Music. And I listened to that quite a few times during quarantine. And so I'm excited about that. Someone asked, would you listen to books on record? I mean, I guess that's not my preferred way. You know, I like a podcast. I like someone talking to me. I don't know if I like people reading to me, but I may. I'll do anything twice. And then I also got this Diane Carroll record, which if you don't know, I got to work with her. I put air quotes because it's not like we were collaborating, but I did fit her into some dresses and we had some great memories in her hotel room. No homo or hetero. And so I'm curious to hear her sing some of these songs. I don't actually know any of these songs. Little Girl Blue, I do know that song. Nina Simone. But and then this was a watershed moment for me because La Belle, if you know anything about me, La Belle is everything. And Phoenix is one of their best records. If they would have had the Chameleon record, I would have also bought that. I would have paid $100 for the Chameleon record on vinyl. But I've never heard them on vinyl. I've only heard these digitally. I've only heard them on Spotify, YouTube, you know, so I cannot wait to hear this. And this is like Phoenix. The amazing flight of a lone star, just like heaven and hell reaches so very far. In a red dress, she dances the news to bring us the dawn. I cannot wait to hear that. Slow Burn, Black Holes in the Sky, Good Intentions for, oh my God, it's just everything. Produced and arranged by Alan Toussaint. Music, the songs were written by Nona Hendrix. This is a moment. And Miranda, I was being a good friend, so I let her buy the La Belle album, which is also a very good album, but the Phoenix one, like this is really when they stepped into their own. And then Chameleon, which was their last record as a group. Well, until they reunited for Back to Now in like 2008. But Phoenix was everything, and then Chameleon was everything. I like this. I can't. Back to Christmas, hang all the mistletoe. I'm going to let you know you better. Do-do-do. This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright. Let's just build it up and build it up. But someone asked about which would I read a book on tape. Is there a book on tape you want me to read? I still need to, a book on tape. You know, I think what it is also, and this is like my own problematism, but like as a child, like my mother was so adamant. And I'm like, was she illiterate? Like I know she was not, but she was so adamant. And I guess she was so adamant about us not only like knowing how to read, but like being voracious readers. You know what I mean? Like we learned how to read at a very early age. And like we were like encouraged to and almost forced to read books like a lot. And I guess it's because even though my mother was obviously not illiterate, my grandmother was not, none of my parents were illiterate, my grandparents were not illiterate. I actually never met my father's parents. I don't think they were illiterate, but they just were not, we weren't that many generations out. We're not, even as my generation, you know what I'm saying? Is that like, I'm what, maybe 4 or 5 generations out of slavery? Like I wasn't in, you know, my mother was not enslaved, my grandmother was not enslaved, my great grandmother was not enslaved. Beyond that, I'm not certain. I need to look into that. Like, and that's only 3 generations. You know, I have older parents. If my dad was alive, he'd be like 80 something years old. So these people, we're not that far from it. And so I wonder if maybe that was a part of it. I was supposed to be putting on lashes, girl. I am all over the place today. And I thank y'all for going on this ride. Because, so somebody help me. I wish I could tag a friend in. So I know I'm supposed to like, you got to put the glue on it. Duh. And then this is also going to just be Gito. The glue is everywhere. You're supposed to let it. And I remember the last time I tried to put lashes, I'm like, bitch, they're upside down. You're putting it on the wrong eye. Like, everything has a place. Everything has a season. In a red dress. To bring us the dawn. You ever see that meme about like why she got to open her mouth when she put her eye makeup on? I never seen that meme either, but somebody should make it. Also, I'm also like, that did help. I don't know if I put them on properly, but at least they're fucking on because normally they wouldn't even be on. I'm just scared I'm gonna poke my eye out though. And I just put on too much glue, so I'll get the second one right. Okay, let's just start over. Let's start over. Find out the same old things. Let's start over. Let's give love their wings. Let's start over. We can't let our good love die. Maybe we can. So are y'all doing Christmas gifts and all that? I saw somebody said that adults don't deserve Christmas gifts, and I thought that was an interesting proposition. I'm not sure I disagree. They didn't say deserve, but just kind of like, it's kind of the way I feel about Valentine's Day, right? Which I'm like, I'm not anti-Valentine's Day, but I just think that like Valentine's Day is just so dumb. It's like not real. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not commemorating anything. It's not like, oh, your birthday, we're celebrating the day you were born. Our anniversary, we're celebrating the moment that we came together or got married or whatever that moment is. It's like this arbitrary day that people have decided, like, you know, in the most consumerist way possible, that we're supposed, and you know, don't you love how I'm blown on this, like I know what the fuck I'm doing. But it's like people are, this tool is just, I feel like I use the tool, but then I just don't think I'm made for lashes. These lashes are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. It's like this arbitrary day, and I've seen more relationships, I think, ruined than I have seen ones that are like strengthened because of Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, the roses cost twice as much on fucking February 14th as they do on February 15th or February 13th. Someone said, let the glue get tacky before applying. Bitch, I was born tacky. Now do me. While we wait for this to get tacky. And I go blind slowly. Someone said, we do Elfster, which is like a digital white elephant. First of all, you saying we do a digital white elephant. Y'all been doing that for a while. My face is kind of fishy. Like, I feel like I'm giving you fish. Um, so how does Elfster work? Care to share more? I wish I could ping you in, but not at this time. I also feel like this is gonna rip off all my eyelashes, which are actually not that small. I didn't put the mascara out because I didn't plan on doing this with this look. So, this is just, child. What is I'm doing? What is I'm doing? What is I'm doing? The problem is going to be, how do I get all this glue off my fucking lid? I guess I just wash it off. Let's start over. I surrender all. You invite the players, set the rules of the gift exchange. Okay. It draws the names. Oh, it draws. Oh, is this a fucking brand partnership? Like sponsored post? This is giving you a little. Right now, I feel like I'm looking very like Uncle Fester meets Take My Strong Hand, and you exchange the gifts. Hat Track. Yeah, because the thing is, I just love a good semi-unit, partly because once you put a hat or something on it, I have a big head and I have hair, so it's like if I put something on top of it, it's going to be too voluminous. You know what I'm saying? It's going to just be too much volume of hair, and so when you'll see, and this is a custom-made unit. We can send you one. So Elfster is like a thing, like a digital tool. Got it. Oh wait, I have to put this on beforehand. Let me take my last sip. Maybe we can start all over. Now you see why I only want to do a half face, because the lighting in here shifted. I feel like, oh, there we go. It got darker all of a sudden. So I should have put this on first. And yes, I know the beard is white. The hair is gray. Blah, blah, blah. My beard in real life has some grays. My head does not. Life comes at you fucking fast. Here we go. And then, ooh, did I just take my lash off? No. If I need you to apply beard and mustache, not a clip-on. Well, I need you to send that my way. The crepe hair is being held up because of Amazon. I think I need to take that. Just hear those sleigh bells ringing with the ting-ting tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for us to ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for us to ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. It's grand. Just holding it. So what I learned about this concealer, and this is a NYX concealer, is like if you do not move her while she is wet, bitch, you missed your moment. Like, I'm done. I'm cooked. The Evan, yes, I am singing the Ebony Scrooge version from How Much Can I Take? It's so electrical. I know that it's a heartquake. Love was a stranger, never came round my door. That's from A Diva Christmas Carol, starring Vanessa Williams and Rosanda Chili Thomas. You should add some glitter to the beard. Oh, that's what I was supposed to do. I don't understand what's happening with the lighting right now, though. Is it me or did it get darker in here? Like, I feel like the lighting has not changed, but I just don't like. I'm gonna drop this light down some. Just because it just feels darker in here. I feel like that just made it fucking worse. Like, it's just so dark in here. Is it me? Is it me? I wanted to add a little glitter because that's what I'm gonna do. Glitter or rhinestone to the beard. Well, we're gonna have to save the glitter to the beard for Saturday, if you guys will join me then, just because logistically it's gonna get everywhere. And so, you know, this is just gonna be a one and done on that. But what we can do is just add some here. In theory, maybe not in practice, because it's looking exactly the fucking same. I know that it's a heartbreak quake. Just hear those sleigh bells ringing with the ting ting tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather. So I'm also doing meet and greet Santa. His name is Santa. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! You sound like Barney. Santa is going to be doing meet and greets with young people all across America this Saturday afternoon. So kids, get your mom together and let her know that Santa is coming to town. He's making a list. He's checking it twice. He's going to find out who's naughty or nice. You can sign up in my DMs and we'll do a nice meet and greet with your child. I've got a proper Santa suit. It is going to be fabulous, darling. Fabulous. And Santa, just because we are socially distant, doesn't mean that Santa can't hear your wishes. So I'm excited and looking forward to all of you meeting Santa this Saturday. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah. So also this show, one thing I wanted to give you guys, and this is, like I said, it's a custom unit. Nothing off the rack about me. This one web series I've been watching is called You from Brooklyn. You from Brooklyn. That's what it's called. YFBK. It is really funny, and I'm just enjoying it a lot. I don't know what's happening with the light. I'm just gonna let that go. I've been enjoying it a lot. It's called You from Brooklyn, and it is a very funny. Maybe Santa wants a lip too. Santa has some products, so I encourage you to watch it. It's on YouTube, I think, but I watch it on Instagram. The last week's episode just came out. I think it's like 5 episodes. The episodes are short. It's a web series. Not saying that web series have to be short, but the thing is, if Santa gets a lip, he's just gonna give you some brown. Where did it go? Sable makeup. Why do makeup love using that fucking term? I've encountered so much sable makeup in my life. Santa Claus is coming. Oh yeah. Santa Claus is coming. Santa. Now I just look like Santa been smoking a blunt. Yeah, Santa hit the blunt today. I don't have none of the glosses. I didn't take any of that stuff out because I wasn't going to do a lip. I don't have no gloss because I didn't intend to do a lip. So Santa just is a weed head right now. We'll fix that for Saturday. And that's why I wanted to do this with you guys today, to make sure that when I meet the children, because I'm going to meet like at least 3 kids. I know at least 3 kids I'm going to meet. And so I want Santa to be very exciting. You know, and we know that the real Santa lives in the North Pole. Obviously, I'm not the real Santa, but I have Santa's beeper number, and I have his cell, and I have his Finsta, not just his Insta, but also his Finsta. So Santa and I are like this. Beat me 911 or call me on your cell phone. I'll call you back to see what you gonna tell me. So yeah, that's what I got with Santa. I'm hoping that you guys will tell your friends, hide your kids, hide your wives. You'll tell your friends that Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. The Real Housewives of Atlanta are back. The struggle bus. Salt Lake City is delivering the goods. But I just want to talk about Santa. Like, what do you want from Santa this year? Also, adults, I'll be entertaining. So I'm doing the kids during the day while they're awake, and then we're gonna like have an edible and have some wine, and the grown-ups are gonna be here, and you can sit on Santa's. Let's try it again. And you can sit on Santa's lap. You know, I think the beard, because it's white, is fucking up the white balance. I think that's what's happening. Can somebody else tell me? Someone said ATL's boring. I think Real Housewives of Atlanta this season, they just don't have no show. Maybe it's the last season. I don't know. I just felt like they just don't have no show. Drew Sidora definitely punched above her weight. I think she got lucky with what she was given. I don't think they even knew she was going to give that when she signed up. But I'm with you, Mint Bleak. It is kind of flat. And I'm like, what is working up? It's just, I'll be back for the reunion. I don't, in general with the Housewives, I'm like, do I need to watch every week? I didn't watch the Potomac reunion. Potomac to me is like a foreign language. I was trying to manage my Housewives consumption. And so I was just doing like Beverly Hills and Atlanta and Salt Lake City. So I was trying not to do too much, but I clearly chose wrong and should have been involved with Potomac. Drew Sidora and her husband. All I gotta say, one of my friends said this in the group chat, and I'm gonna steal it. Because look, watch, I'm gonna take this beard off. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna ride out. But I think that the beard is what's fucking up the white balance. Because the beard is always popping, and then when you see, it's darkened. So I cannot wait until I have purpose-built electronics or whatever. But Drew, she was like, if you go on for 3 months to you, my husband, just stay where you at, honey. Like we done. That shit is a mess. And one thing I do hate is like, I hate when people do fucked up shit and try to blame the whole community. So he's talking about as black men, we do this. I'm a black man. I don't do none of that shit she's talking about. I'm allergic to this thing. I'm about to sneeze. I don't have corona though. Excuse me. Santa Claus. So yeah, that's all I got on this. I just cannot wait to join you all Saturday. Hopefully you can join me. You can sit on Santa's lap. We can make a wish for you or someone else. And yeah, and remember that dream girls will never leave you. All you got to do is dream. I'm done. This was fun. I'll see you all again next Wednesday, which will be Christian's birthday and someone else's birthday too. We do birthday shout outs here and we don't charge you for them. You let us know. We'll do them for free. Happy birthday to ye. Remember, choose joy. We only get one life. Yeah. Santa Claus is coming. That's my way of saying the show is done, but y'all still type in. The relationship will not last. It will not. I'm going to jump on Instagram for a little bit. So you guys can catch me there.